right. Well, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us today. In this session, we're going to dive into critical aspects of your professional journey. Specifically, how do you stay updated with all of these industry trends? So if you haven't been to one of these sessions before, just a little bit about me. Whoops, see if it'll change slides. There we go. I am Michelle Rasmussen, and I have been using Autodesk products since, since release 9 of AutoCAD. So just a few years. And I have been actually teaching the Autodesk products and an instructional designer for the last 20 years or more. I've taught everything from land development to road design into structural engineering and have written over 46 training guides on the Autodesk products. I say over 46 because 46 of them have been published, but I've written more that haven't been published yet. So it's kind of a fun thing to be able to say. But it's really my passion is helping others be more successful. And if that means writing a book to help you be successful in the classroom, I'm all about that. So I was with Autodesk for 5 years, where I was responsible for the customer success learning content that you'll now find under Autodesk Learn. And in the past 6 months, 8 months or so, I have been starting my own business. It's called Collaborative CLAM. And it's basically CLAM stands for coaching, learning, and mentoring, combining all three of those. So, all right. So why are you here? I hope you're here because you really want to learn how to stay up to date with Autodesk technology and industry trends. What we're specifically going to be doing today is talking about the importance of staying up to date first off, because we all want to understand the why behind it. And then we'll navigate some of the Autodesk official resources to help you stay up to date and figure out where you can find those resources, because they're not in just one place, they're all over the place. And then we'll talk a little bit about connecting with industry professionals, because my success in my career has not just been me going out and learning what I needed to learn, but it's actually networking with a lot of different people to stay updated and figure out what are they doing and why are they doing that. So with that, let's start by understanding why it's so important to stay current in this fast-paced environment. So as you all know, the pace of technology and technological change in our industry is relentless. Autodesk, for example, is constantly rolling out new updates, sometimes several times a year. And being able to stay up to date on all of the features is really key to making sure that you're successful. If you don't keep up, we risk falling behind and losing touch with the latest methods and tools that make our jobs easier and more effective. Whoops, that went too fast. Hold on. There we go. Now it's going slower. All right. So when we think about productivity and the quality of our work, staying updated is not just beneficial, it's actually essential. And these new tools and features that are constantly coming out from Autodesk really help to streamline your workflows, help reduce errors, and ultimately help us deliver better results much faster than we used to be able to do. And by integrating these advancements into our day-to-day tasks, we can improve not just the speed by which we do the work, but actually the quality of the work as well. If you think about it, I want you to kind of look at that picture for a little bit. And I'm going to ask you a question in a minute about that picture. But really, when you think about the impact on your career of staying up to date, today's competitive job market and keeping your current skills current is crucial for your job security, right? No one's going to just let you sit on the job and learn all day. You have to actually get work done. And you're teaching people how to get work done as teachers of the technology. And so by staying updated, you really position yourself as an indispensable asset for your team and your customers, whoever's coming to you to learn. And additionally, embracing that new technology can actually open doors to career growth and position yourself for promotions or even new roles. Think about the roles that you knew of when you were in high school. How many of them exist today? And how many of them had you not even heard of when you were in high school? I think back to my high school years. GIS wasn't even a thing. But right after I got out of at high school, I was learning GIS in the Air Force. We were one of the first ones to actually use GIS and GPS units because GPS wasn't available to civilians when I was in the Air Force. So those are just some of the things to think about. So considering that last picture that you saw in that last slide, what do you think those people in the slide were doing?
Connecting people over the phone.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're not connected to Slido, yeah, you can there's a few enough of us that yes, connecting people over the phone is the right answer. They were telephone operators, weren't they? And so how many telephone operators do we have today?
Zero.
Zero, exactly. We haven't stopped talking on the phones. In fact, I don't even know the last time I used a landline, to be quite honest with you. Everything I do is on my cell phone. I don't even have a landline here at the house anymore or in the office. And so if you don't stay up to date, you can really work yourself out of a job pretty quickly.
And a lot of folks that do have landlines in their offices don't realize they're actually internet based. So,
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. So, it not just keeps your job security, but it actually gives you a competitive edge when you stay up to date. Whether you're vying for a new job or a promotion or trying to win a contract, up-to-date knowledge actually sets you apart from your peers. It's a commitment to the continuous learning and adaptation that makes you more valuable in the marketplace. And staying up with Autodesk technology, ooh, that just leads to staying up to date with industry trends and keeping pace. It's about staying ahead and it's about maintaining productivity and ensuring the highest quality of work that will help you secure your career and help you really stand out from the crowd. So, how do we go ahead and stay up to date? Well, let's talk a little bit about navigating the official resources from Autodesk. So, Autodesk provides a wealth of resources that are not only competitive, but also official and reliable. By tapping into these resources, you ensure that you're getting the most accurate and the most up-to-date information that's available. Things like what's new in the software. There are blog articles and specifically this what's new page. And in fact, if I go ahead and click on here, we'll open up to that page. There we go. You can scroll through what's new, and let me put this in the chat, in fact, so that you have that link, because this is a valuable, valuable resource. I encourage you to click on that link in the chat so that you can scroll through for yourself and take a look at what's new. You can look at it, what's the newest feature, what's the newest article out. The newest thing was that Civil 3D 25.1 is now available. And Revit 25.2 is now available. Well, I can look at it by order of publication, which is the default, or I can actually go up and filter by the product, which makes it really nice because I can say, well, I'm really just interested in Revit because I'm teaching structural engineers or HVAC, HVAC classes or whatever it is you're teaching. You can see what's available there. And it makes it so much faster to find. Oh, 1 second. To find what you need. So the official resources is crucial because they offer the most accurate and timely information, whether that's the new updates, the features, the best practices, what Autodesk platforms provide.
And they respond to the evolve guide next. I'm gonna respond to that evolve guy for like the lights.
Oh, there we go. Thanks for muting him. I thought he was asking a question at first. So staying up to date, this really ensures that you're not just keeping up, but actually getting ahead and understanding the application of the technology in your industry. All right, so let's take a look at the Autodesk website. Accessing the Autodesk website allows you to look for those updates and new features. And on the home page, you can see the latest updates from Autodesk, which I just took this screenshot this morning that shows that they are the design and make platform for the LA 28 games, for the Olympics coming to LA in 2028. So really exciting stuff. You get to see what's happening at Autodesk, see what new trends are coming out, and to get more specific and navigate the product specific pages, let's take a look at that because these pages actually provide very in-depth information on each and every tool, including tutorials, case studies, technical documentation, whatever it is, you can always go and look for that. And so I'm going to jump over to the Autodesk website. There we go. You can see it looks just like my slide because, like I said, I grabbed a screenshot of that this morning to make sure I had the latest and greatest. But if I wanted to go and look at very specific information, I probably could go to products. If I expand products here, you can see it shows me everything under architectural engineering and construction. It shows me everything under product and manufacturing, product design and manufacturing, and media and entertainment. If I want to know specifically about Revit, I just click on Revit. And of course, it does give you the free trial there and it tells you a little bit about it. But if you scroll down, you'll start to see videos about how to do things and what's possible. You get to see what features are available. And this page changes frequently. So even if you looked at it last week, it's a good idea to come back and look at it again to see, oh, what's new here? Is there anything new here? Maybe you set an appointment on your calendar and come and look at this on a regular basis, maybe monthly, maybe quarterly, whatever suits your needs to stay up to date. But even if I didn't want to see just the Revit product, if I go to products, I can actually view all of the products very easily. And I can actually filter what products. Do I want to just look at the construction products? Okay, great. There's 26 construction products. And I can scroll through here and decide which products are relevant to the people that I'm teaching so that I can stay up to date on that specific product or those specific products. Okay. Any questions on navigating the Autodesk website? All right, let's go ahead and keep going. Now let's talk a little bit about the Autodesk forums, which are very invaluable resource for community-driven insights. Here you can engage with other professionals who have the same tools, share your experiences, and learn from other professionals that use the same tools as you. It's a great place to ask questions and get answers. And what I really like about the forums is you're asking other professionals that are in the field using the technology. And I mean, I love Autodesk and I think they have great experts, but sometimes they're so focused in on, oh, this tool was designed to do this way. But professionals are like, hey, I've been able to get it to work this way for me. And this is how I'm doing this, even though this isn't a feature that is normally taught, or this feature isn't taught to be used in this way. And they're finding new ways to use the tools that Autodesk never even thought of. And so that's why I really love the forums. And it's really one of the most powerful tools in the forum is the search function. So before you actually go and ask a question in the forums, chances are someone else already asked a similar question. And so you can do a quick search for that. In fact, let me go ahead and go back over to the Autodesk website and show you how to get to the forums. Under the community drop down, you'll notice that there's Autodesk community here. that's where the forums are located. So if I click on that, you can see I can explore the community forums, or I can be inspired by the community blog, the community gallery, or other upcoming community events. And so I'm just going to go ahead and go into the community forums. And in here, it starts off by listing out all of the products that are available in the forums. So if I'm using something like vehicle tracking, I can click on vehicle tracking. And you notice no matter what page I go to, every single page has the search at the top. And that makes it easy for me to just come in and do a search. If I don't want to do a search, I can post to the forums and type in my question and answer. What's really great is you can actually drag and drop attachments. So whether that attachment is a drawing file or some kind of design file that you want to drop in there to share with others, hey, I'm having problems with this and this is the file I'm using. Is it something wrong with the file? Is it something wrong with the method I'm using? What is it? And you can actually add tags as well so that you can add multiple tags. Just don't use any special characters in those tags. All right, so going back, if I came back and I said, well, I want to search the forums for adding a new vehicle. Okay. So I've done a community search on vehicle tracking specifically, and you can see it's given me 19 results. There's been 19 questions around this question, right? And I can jump into any one of these to see what's really happening here. I want to customize a support vehicle. Great, I'll click on that. And not only can I see, whoops, you'll often get this up. You can participate later if you want. I'm going to hit no thanks for now. But you can actually go in and say, look at what the original question was. They've provided a little image of what's happening, and then you can look at the different replies to it. So you can see some information about that. And if you have more information, you can do a reply as well. And it's just very simple word type formatting. You just type in whatever it is you want to add and click post so that it's now available. And again, you can email yourself when someone else replies to that if you want to stay updated with what's going on with that topic. All right. Any questions on using the forums? If you want to go back to the forum community, you just click community right up here. And it takes you right back so that you have the option to go to another area of the forums. Okay. All right. The one that you'll probably be the most interested in is actually the navigating Autodesk Learning. And this is great because with Autodesk Learning, there are all kinds of different tutorials and documentation. There's access to learning paths and certification information. And all of these things are available from one dropdown. And in fact, you can find things on Autodesk University, previous classes that have been taught by other professionals. You can go and look for quick start guides. Customer success content that I used to be responsible for is up there. And not only that, but you can actually create some different links to everything. And in fact, when you're looking for learning content, you can actually filter by the software. You can filter by the certification level. You can do searches for specific search terms that you're looking for. And you can bookmark the content to go directly back to that information later. And you can create lists for yourself. So there's a difference between a list and a bookmark. and there's certain learning paths that you can go through. And so there's a great things to look at. If you're working in any of the desktop products, the Autodesk Learn, autodesk.com/learn is a really great resource. If you are working in the Autodesk Construction Cloud products, though, I highly recommend that you go to learnacc.autodesk.com. Both places have very, very valuable information, but they're in the process of consolidating them into one learning site because right now they're in two different learning management systems. But let's take a look at that. So if I go back to Autodesk, you'll notice that the Learn drop-down is right there. You saw that on the slide. If I go to the first option, which is Learning, it allows me to search the catalog. You can see my recent activity. I was looking in the Civil 3D Quick Start Guide earlier today so that I could see some videos, and I can acquire skills and through tutorials and curated lists. I can build deeper skills with collections and courses. These are the longer form, whereas the tutorials and curated lists are much shorter form. And I can prepare for Autodesk certification or find other resources. If I really want to do any searches though, I can come down here and search by products. So if I'm looking for AutoCAD information, it'll show me a various collections of AutoCAD information. I can look at curated lists. I can go to courses and modules. So the biggest thing is don't be afraid to click around. Look around at what's available and figure out what is going to be best for you. And if it makes sense, bookmark anything that does make sense. Or if you need to, not to pick on anyone, but Tom, what is one of the things that you would like to learn? And you're on mute, so maybe. How about Patrick? Patrick, are you willing to speak up and tell me what's one of the things that you're
Absolutely.
willing to learn?
I would like to learn more about laser scan integration into Revit 2025, or point cloud integration if it doesn't come up with laser scans.
Oh,
Yeah, it might be point cloud because that's the way they
it
specify it.
might be. Yeah.
Yeah.
So are you specifically talking like a plugin for that? So you bring it in like a Trimble product or just in general?
So in general, the 2024 and older have a very limited amount of tools that work with point cloud software in Revit. Typically what ends up happening is somebody will utilize the proprietary software and then export the RCP point cloud that works with Autodesk software. And then they'll bring it in Revit with those very limited tools. I was curious what Autodesk did within the 2025 software independent of plugins, because if you go to the ClearEdge website and download theirs, very robust, and they offer it for free. I didn't know if Autodesk put any effort into that because ClearEdge Edgewise works so dynamically and processes the plugin pretty well. So I didn't know if they invested any time and effort into it.
You can see here most of if I just type in point cloud, it brings up a lot of information around recap and some information about Civil 3D and InfraWorks, but I can isolate that information by just coming in and looking for Revit as well, right? So there were 27 instances. Now it's narrowed it down to 4.
Okay.
So you can see how easy it is to just do a search. Keep the search terms really light and simple, and then isolate according to the software or industry or role that you're looking for.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So if I like this, okay, there's some existing conditions modeling for architects. Let's go view that. Or maybe I don't have time to view that right now. I can bookmark that and have it available later on. Or maybe these existing conditions for operations and layout. I can go ahead and add that to a list and again, have that available. So if you notice I have an AutoCAD toolset list, that's not the list I want to add it to. So let's add it to point clouds. And I'll hit save. And if I want to, take a look at this collection, architectural modeling, I can add that to my same list by just selecting point clouds this time. So there's a quick, easy way to develop that list. But now that I've developed it, if I go to my dashboard, I'll see my recent learning activity here. I can click on my lists and find my items that I've saved previously. And let me go back actually to my dashboard. I can go to my bookmarks, anything that I've bookmarked. And you can see it can be long form courses that I can bookmark, or I can bookmark just individual lessons. It's whatever you want to do there. It's up to you if you want to go through those longer form. In fact, those longer forms classes could be very valuable because it takes you through a workflow, not just a quick little answer. And that might be something that you want to bookmark so that you can come back and learn more on it later. In fact, this bridge design, the detailed bridge design is a collaborative learning option where it incorporates Inventor and Revit and Civil 3D and InfraWorks to really help you understand how to cross disciplines and keep all of that information together for the entire workflow of the bridge design. So there's workflow options, there's individual tutorials, there's a lot out there for you to take a look at. And the best thing I can do is tell you to just go and test it out, figure out what's going to work for you, right? Don't be afraid of it because you can't mess it up. Any questions on finding the learning content that you'd like to learn? Okay, let's keep going then. So now let's finish up by talking a little bit about how you can stay connected with industry professionals. This is a crucial aspect of your professional development. Connecting with industry professionals is how I have stayed relevant in my career. Networking isn't just about meeting people. It's about creating a community where knowledge, experiences, and opportunities can be shared. I can't tell you how many times I have applied for a job and I didn't get any kind of response back from HR until I reached out to my connections at that organization and said, hey, just by the way, I've applied for this job. Do you mind recommending me? Or do you mind, saying something to HR? Because that's where it really does make a difference. It's not always what you know, but who you know that matters. So what are some ways that you can actually add value by networking? So connecting with other trainers and professionals in your field will bring a host of benefits. The first one, it allows you to share your knowledge and experiences, learning from others' successes and their challenges. Failure is a great way to learn. I really liked Carol Bart's method when she was the CEO of Autodesk. She used to always say, fail fast forward. If you're going to fail, get up, brush yourself off, learn from that mistake, and keep moving forward because those failures are bigger lessons than your successes. But networking really helps build lasting professional relationships, which can lead to collaborative projects, referrals, job opportunities, as I've already mentioned. And networking really keeps you in the loop with the latest industry trends. I'm friends with Amy Marks, and she's the queen of prefab. I really hadn't been introduced much to prefabrication until Amy and I became friends. And so, I'm very thankful for that networking experience that I've had with Amy to learn about industrialized construction and prefabrication from her. So how do you go about doing the networking? Well, attending events and webinars just like this one, or workshops and conferences, is one of the best ways to stay updated. Not only can you send me direct messages in the chat in the meeting, but you can send fellow participants messages too. I mean, Patrick's been really great week after week when he comes to these webinars. He's really great about adding value, and I'm really thankful that he shows up. But take advantage, like share your contact information with Patrick, with Benny, with Tom. All of you have a lot of experience and a lot of value to bring to each other. And so when you show up to these, network with each other, even if it's just in the chat, or, unmute yourself and add value to the conversation. That's one of the best ways to get your name out there and to learn from others. Ask those hard questions that you haven't found the answer to yet. But when you're going to these events, always make sure that first be selective about the events that you attend. Focus on those that align with your professional interests and your professional goals. Look for sessions led by industry recognized experts. These will be very valuable because they'll provide valuable insights and high quality networking opportunities. Next, make sure that you're staying actively engaged. While attending, don't just be a passive observer, participate in the Q&A session to add clarity or any doubts, or demonstrate your engagement about the topic. Take advantage of any breaks there are by going up and talking to the speakers or the attendees. And this is because this is where you can really start to build that professional relationship. It's not just about, going and sitting in on an Amy Marks talk about industrialized construction. It's about going up and meeting Amy and being able to share thoughts and learn and share your knowledge as well. And then after the event, make sure that you follow up with people that you met. Connecting on LinkedIn or other professional platforms is a great way to really maintain that relationship. Don't let the conversation end just because the event ends. Continue to share your insights, continue to explore collaboration opportunities, and just really continue to engage. So I'm going to ask you another question. How many of you are going to Autodesk University? Okay, so it's about 50-50. If you're there, definitely come find me. I am going to Autodesk University. I will be doing a panel discussion there where I'm co-host for veterans, why veterans are such a great asset to companies. And so look that up. But if you are going to AU, it's a great place again to network. That is where I would say 90% of my network really took hold when I started going to Autodesk University, because I was able to go and listen to instructors teach what I was already teaching. And I started teaching, of course, at Autodesk University. I've been teaching at Autodesk University since 2006. And being part of that speaker resource has been hugely, hugely valuable. It's amazing how much your network just in the speaker area can really amplify your own success. So if you are going to AU, I want to encourage you to take the class that's listed there, Upskilling and Reskilling the Workforce with Autodesk certifications. This is one directly from Autodesk. It's going to be a great session, and it's really going to talk about how employers are finding the certification exams valuable, and it might be some really eye-opening information for you. All right. So in addition to attending events, online communities and social media platforms are excellent avenues for ongoing networking and learning. Joining professional groups such as the Autodesk Instructor group, I think it's Autodesk Instructor Certified Instructor Group is what it is. it's really valuable. You get to hear about the latest and greatest information around the ACIs. You get to hear about upcoming training events, and you get to share experiences with each other. You might go to and teach a class and be like, oh man, I had this one student that was just hard to teach. Reaching out in that group and asking questions. How do you deal with these distractors? How do you deal with, the know-it-alls? And just getting advice from other people. It's a great way for you to learn and share your knowledge as well. So being active in these communities is really the key. Regular participation not only helps you stay informed, but it also builds your personal reputation as a knowledgeable professional. So share your experiences, engage in the discussions, offer help where you can. If someone's struggling, be like, oh, I haven't experienced that exactly, but I experienced something similar, and this is how I handled it. Or, like for me, when I first started out as a mother, I was doing so much learning around how to be a better parent. And what I found is that learning from those parent uh, blogs and other social media platforms that allowed me to learn how to be a better parent actually transitioned into helping me be a better teacher as well, believe it or not. And so don't just think about the specific areas that you're teaching in, but think about offset communities that might help you. And finally, stay updated. Use social media to follow industry leaders and companies that are leading in the industry, and keep informed about the latest trends, tools, opportunities in your field. You never know when just having some discussions with people online is going to lead to your next big opportunity. All right, so just a quick summary, wrapping up a little bit. What is it that's going to help you? Summary of those strategies. I encourage you to identify at least one upcoming event that you can attend, join a new online community, and start following key leaders in the industry on social media, whether that's on LinkedIn or something else. But let me show you really quick some of the communities that I am a member of on my LinkedIn. So let's go over to that. All right, so when you are on LinkedIn, if you haven't started joining communities on LinkedIn, I highly recommend doing that. Now I've got to remember how I got there. Oh yeah, network, there it is. So you just scroll down and you look at your network. And when it brings up your network, it'll show you all the people you're connected to or people that follow people that you're following. But really, if you go and expand your network over here, you can see how many connections you have, how many contacts you have. But really, the best one is looking at those groups. What groups are you a part of? There's this Autodesk Certified Instructors group that has 767 members. Go out and become a member of that group. It's a great way to find out what other Autodesk instructors are doing. There's different groups for the different aspects of Autodesk. For instance, I'm in this infrastructure design group that has 18,000 members. So valuable. And architectural engineering construction jobs networks and Augie. If you're not a member of Augie, I highly recommend becoming a member. Augie is the Autodesk User Group International, and they're completely separate from Autodesk. So they're their own entity, and they have great training events and things like Autodesk University, but specifically Augie events. So some really great options there on some of the groups that you can join. You can join the Autodesk Technology Group with 51,000 members. Really great things. All right. So what have we covered today? I'm actually a few minutes early, but not too bad. We've talked about the importance of staying up to date. And we've talked about navigating the Autodesk official resources. I know we went through it very quickly, so if there's anything that you'd like to dive deeper in together, I'm happy to do that. And we've talked about connecting with industry professionals. So now let's go ahead and do some Q&A. Now, if you want to go out to Slido and type your questions in, it will give everyone a chance to upvote your question. If you want to just open your mic, since there's so few of us, I highly encourage that. But what questions do you have around staying updated with industry trends and technology?
This is Benny Wilson. I work with the Sheet Metal Workers International Union here in Reno, Nevada.
Mhm.
And one of the biggest concerns that I have is the databasing and stuff like that in the fabrication series, CamDog, CAD-S, those kind of things. Just keeping up with the new versions and keeping the databases updated and stuff like that. Um, I was kind of hanging out, seeing if anything with fabrication would come up because it's its own like specialty. It's not very popular. So I'm always looking for tips and tricks in that.
Awesome. I love that, Benny, that you brought that up. Are others kind of have the same thoughts as Benny? Or are you working in that area, teaching those kinds of classes?
On the piping side, but yeah.
On the piping side? Yeah. Okay. So Patrick and Benny, you might want to connect and share, even though one is HVAC, one is piping, you know, there might be some things that you can crossbreed across the industries. Okay, I see Patrick, you put in the thing. If you're part of an educational institute, there are significant discounts. Yes, digital passes are free. Yep. I love that you guys are adding your contact information in the chat. And I see that Pat asked the question, is there a list of sessions that people can refer to later? Absolutely, there are. Let me go ahead and go back over to the Autodesk website. And okay, so if you go to the Autodesk website, not only can you look and see what sessions are available for this year's class, you can look at old sessions. For instance, this class, Building the Future, Global Trends and Opportunities in the Construction Industry. This was a previous class, and you can go and look at the class specifically. You can, if there was a recording of it, that recording will be up there. Actually, this one might be a new class because I don't see the resources that are usually there. But let's go over to another one. This one was a previous class, Creating a Forward-Thinking Technology Culture. There's a video that you can actually go and look at, the presentation, which is the PowerPoint slides that you can go and look at,
Sean,
and the handout. What's that?
Sean.
Yeah. Yep, exactly. So yeah, there are definitely classes out there. Any time a class is taught at AU, it usually ends up here on the Autodesk website under the Autodesk University. And to get there from the home page, give it a second to catch up with me. You'll go under Learn and could do Autodesk University. That'll bring you to that Autodesk University page, and you can search old classes or look at what's happening this year. So really great question. I love that question. So fabrication software is that's wide open. So maybe if you don't mind unmuting yourself and maybe asking that further about that question, or maybe that was Benny, was that your question really?
My question was specifically like database migration from year to year, because honestly, I'm still using like some of the 2016 database because I like how it is. I mean, maybe I'm showing my age, but Um,
No.
it just worked better for
Mm,
what I had because everything was there. So I'm trying to teach the new versions in the class and having to refer back to like the old CID numbers and stuff that were accessible in the older version. And if there's a way to get those in that I'm not aware, because it like the Z masters folders and stuff just don't come in the 2024.
You,
okay.
uh, I'll, I'll wait.
No, go ahead. Go ahead, Patrick. I
No,
love that
I
you're
was going
jumping
to say
in.
there are some options where you can import IEZ files that contain those services. Um, the the catch is sometimes in the newer versions a specific CID pattern is antiquated and they get rid of it, or it's not recognized, or you have to change to meet the latest and greatest. But the real honest question would be, are you using fabrication in fabrication, or are you using fabrication database in Revit? And then,
Both. So
yeah,
I'm using
and I had a
both.
feeling,
So I have
I
a
had a feeling.
plasma table here that needs the actual cam duct package,
Yep.
and I teach mechanical design. So when they draw in Revit, we draw and then we convert to fabrication items, and then we
MAJ.
export the MAJs, and
Yep.
then typically we have to fix seams, we have to do those things because the
Yeah.
database conflicts. So
Yeah.
um,
You're not alone. That's the
right,
unfortunate part. There is not a lot of hardcore written documented data on how to do all of that. But if you want to reach out offline, we can talk. And then we'll share that content with Michelle and Mary and
yeah,
them.
I would appreciate that greatly.
Yeah.
Uh, we just bought like um 25 computers for our new lab from Mary, and we're
Mhm.
the last one of these that I attended that talked about the deployment. I used that last week, so these have been very helpful.
Yeah. And when I was talking about the sessions, Michelle, it was not only the Autodesk sessions, but these sessions as well, because I think this hits more to the point for most of the folks in the meeting. These sessions are more substantial than a panel discussion that you would hear or read at Autodesk.
Well, and that brings up another point. Like the sessions at Autodesk University are so diverse. There's hands-on lab sessions. There are industry talk lessons. There are instructional lessons. There's the panel lessons. There's it's so wide open, and it just depends on, what the topic is and what you're passionate about and what you really need to learn to keep your job or to advance in your job. Yeah. Oh, really great. Excellent. Well, any other questions that are coming up? Okay, well, let's keep going then. Just to let you know that upcoming webinars, we're going to do a couple on productivity commands, one on September 10th for AutoCAD productivity for construction trades. So really focus in on those tools that'll help you do your job better and faster in the construction trades. And on the 24th, we'll do one specifically for Revit. Those dates may change depending on enrollment. So definitely get enrolled if they're of interest to you. You can register at the thinkedu.com/pages/upcoming events page. And I'll be honest, I just gave these topics to the ThinkEDU team today, so give them a day or two to get them up on the registration page, but those will be coming up shortly. But what do you need to learn? What I took from this, Patrick and Benny, is maybe we need to do something on the database migration for a future topic. But what else? So go ahead and put in the Slido or in the chat, what else do you need to learn in the future so that we can prepare these sessions and be more valuable for you to show up and really ask those hard questions. And this is just a word cloud, so if anyone types anything in, no one will know who typed it, but you can get your thoughts out there and ask for specific things. You know, in the previous session, someone asked for Revit, so I thought we would try the productivity piece of Revit. But maybe you need to know more about families, or you need to know about the database connections like Benny and Patrick were talking about. Revit add-ins to be more productive. I love that. And what kind of add-ins, if you don't mind my asking, so that I can make sure I'm really pointed on the topics that we select and we present. You know, what kind of add-ins are you thinking? And it doesn't have to be the one you're using, but really, what is it? Cross-trade, I like that. Good. Excellent. Well, thank you all for participating. It really helps. If you leave today and you think back and you're like, oh, I wish I would have asked for this during the webinar, or I wish I would have asked for that topic, you can always send those to the ThinkEDU team, or you can email me at michelle@collaborativeclam.com. And you can get a hold of the ThinkEDU team through these contact options. So definitely take some of those down. Otherwise, I just want to thank you so much for joining us. Your input and your questions are very, very valuable, and I love seeing you guys come week after week. So thank you for joining, and until next time, I hope you have a fabulous day.
Great job, Michelle.
Thank you.
Thanks, Michelle.